Well, welcome, Becky Liston, to Evanston Magazine's interview forum. I want to say thank you for showing up, and I had a great time hanging out with you guys yesterday
Yes,
while
that
we were
was
doing your
fun.
pictorial. It was a lot of fun.
That was
First, you,
great.
first you guys were a little stiff, but you eventually warmed up, and we had a great time.
Yeah,
Uh,
thanks. Thanks, Aaron.
That's cool. No, it's what it is, you know. So we're here to discuss your personal business, which is integrated physical therapy and yoga.
Yeah.
Um, if you'd like, could you mention your website first,
Oh,
and
sure,
then
absolutely.
and then a few of your projects that you had. You just mentioned the yoga class that's happening over Zoom, which would be really good for you guys to get out there, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So my website is www.ptandy.com. So PT Andy, which is for physical therapy and yoga. And
Okay.
I'm happy to be Zooming some yoga classes right now. I'm teaching a therapeutic class on Wednesday morning, geared toward people who are recovering from injury and surgery, and people who just feel like they've never done yoga and they're kind of would like to try but they're not sure. And then I have a Friday morning class, a women's yoga class, 9:30 on Zoom, and we're working with women's issues there. So
Well,
that's
that's
what's
great.
happening. Yeah.
How can someone get involved with those with that project? Is it just go to your website? Is it do you have an email list, or how do they get involved with that?
You know what? Go to my website and under ongoing classes, you'll find information about the class, and there's a way that you can contact me to register. So that's probably the easiest way right there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's cool. So let's get into some of the meat and potatoes about yourself. What led you to become a physical therapist?
So I come from a family of healers and educators. So I've
Okay.
got, generations back, I've got my grandmother went back to school to become a nurse. My mom's a nurse. My brother's a nurse. Cousins, doctors, lots of healers, and education as well. And I feel like physical therapy is a way to join those two things together. So healing and educating.
Hmm.
Uh, it feels like a really it's always felt like a calling for me to help people. That's been something I've known that I needed to do since I was as early as I can remember. So it was helping people, and how am I going to do that? And then physical therapy kind of came into my life. I'll actually mention, this is kind of funny. I
That's
was
great.
thinking about this. There's a movie. There was a really bad movie, actually. Like it got. I don't think it got any stars. It was called Regarding Henry. I watched it when I was in high school. Harrison Ford was in this movie. Aaron.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Um, and don't remember.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to interrupt you and say I have no idea what that movie is, but
But it was the first time that I had ever seen a physical therapist in practice. So part of this movie was the rehab of this character who'd been in a coma and was recovering. And I was like, oh, I think that's actually something that I want to do. So it was a bad movie, but it inspired a good thing for me.
which
So
is what good and bad movies need to do. That's all we need is inspiration out of these things,
yes.
or a call to not do something, which is inspiring somebody to not do something. But that's cool. So
Yeah.
that's kind of an answer that I was kind of looking for. Like, how long have you been interested in participating in physical therapy? And it seems like you picked such a calming aspect of it, right? Of health and of the therapeutic world when you involve yoga. So how does that infuse in this mix here with that you're building or that you've
Yes.
built?
So I did my education in physical therapy and entered the world of PT that way, and kind of went into a hospital setting and did kind of work in a mainstream hospital setting for a while. And I knew that I always wanted to integrate. So I wanted to do more kind of branch out from just this traditional model of physical therapy. I started practicing yoga myself as a runner in one of my early mid-20s, and then found that through my yoga practice, it really had such a calming effect on my mind, body. And because it helped me so much, I felt like I wanted to bring it to my patients. So then I went and did my yoga training, and started bringing that in, just, working with the whole body. So I want to, just not just address physical limitation, but also how can we bring a level of connection and understanding to how we move? How can we integrate mind and body? Can I help people to really feel like they're getting into their body? Because a lot of times we spend a lot of time up here. And there's a lot of living that we do from our head. So to really integrate and be in the body, and learn how to kind of come down and relax, and to bring all of those things together has been really great for me in my practice.
I totally understand, and I love what you guys are representing, especially your end of it. Enjoyed your office over there; it was great. It was great.
Thank
you. Now, when you first started, you talked about doing your classes on Zoom, and that you do a private session with a person, COVID safe. One-on-one, or maybe one-on, whatever. Can you explain that a little bit to people, and what your precautions are in order to make sure that they're safe during their personal visits, so that when people are, when people reach out to you, they'll know, hey, I can do this, and it's going to be safe, because the world is kind of opening up now. And I'm sure you want to go back to to pre-COVID numbers, as well as get your post-COVID numbers as high as you'd like,
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. I do feel like I am happy to be in practice one-on-one with patients, and have been able to do that, as an essential provider from pretty early on in the pandemic. So we really, I personally, and the people who shared my space, other practitioners in the building, were really careful and thoughtful about how we have established a safe space for people to come in. Right now, everyone's required to wear a mask. It's actually nice to not be in a mask right now talking to you, because I feel like, normally that's happening. So everyone's masked. We have air filters going, HEPA air filters and fans, and extra time in between clients to thoroughly clean down the equipment. Our waiting room is closed, so we don't have people just kind of hanging out. So right now, it's always been appointment based, but right now, it's meeting someone at the door, escorting them back. We don't have a lot of people passing in the hallways, so we're really just trying to keep it as minimal exposure to others as possible. Lots of hand washing. We ask everyone when they come in to wash their hands, use hand sanitizer, just, keep our masks on. I have folks bring in their own yoga mat if we're going to use it for practicing on the floor. I also have a few clients, while the weather has been nice, who have wanted to practice outside. So I've been able to do that during nice weather, which has been wonderful. If people have a space outside their home to go and practice, and we're doing some yoga outside. So physical therapy, I have my own space. We keep it really clean, good airflow, movement. And then our yoga, either in person, one-on-one, or over Zoom. I have some folks I'm seeing actually one-on-one over Zoom too, over telehealth. So that's always a nice option. I have a few folks who are just not ready to come in. But we can do a lot just like this. Like, we're talking a lot of education and movement and pain management and breathing and stuff like that over Zoom too.
Right. Now, what are some of the symptoms that your therapy would absolutely work perfectly and positively with? I know you mentioned sometimes people are in their minds, and I from hearing about yoga, you always think that the person that gets into like the yoga trance will not only stretch and do things to their physical body, but it also affects their peace, you know, their mind's peace. So
Yeah,
that's what I kind of think about when I deal with yoga.
absolutely.
Can you explain some of those aspects?
Absolutely, Aaron. So I think that it's nice. I think a lot of people, so I think some people too have this idea of yoga as, well, that's only for a flexible body, or only certain kinds of people can do that, or I'm too stressed and in my head. I maybe I should do yoga, but I can't even think about doing it. I feel like I think my whole work is just wanting people to access the practice. So if you have, so I work in a couple different ways. I'll meet people where they are. If you're coming in and you are wanting to learn about yoga and maybe you haven't done it, you want to do it safely, you don't have any pain, but you're just kind of curious, how can I move better? How can I get calmer? How can I connect mind body?
Hmm.
We can work there. And I also feel like, you know, what I offer too, if you have pain of any head to toe, if you've got neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, hip pain, pelvic pain, knee, like any major joint, the whole, what I love to do is to help people move better, right? To feel, you know, what's happening in that part of me and how can I integrate it in my whole body? How can I move better with less pain? So I'll use some physical therapy, some hands-on
Hmm.
techniques, some movement, help people get their muscles working and moving again. And a lot of times, you know, we'll put that together with a yoga practice. Some of the therapeutic exercises that we do in physical therapy are yoga, like they kind of cross over really easily.
Right.
Uh, so that's been kind of a fun thing too, is I'm sure a lot of people who've come in to see me who've done physical, even traditional physical therapy, some of the things they've done are yoga poses. So there's a lot of crossover there.
Right. Yeah, I hear a lot about the yoga poses like standing dog and tree
Yeah.
and name a few of them, because they're very interesting, like when you hear
Yeah,
about them.
it's so true. And no, it's interesting, like, so downward facing dog, upward
Yeah.
facing
I
dog.
might have said it wrong.
No, it's okay. But I'll tell you, you know, if you just like watch, if you have a dog and you watch how they move,
Yeah.
like there's so much translation in of how I think people must have just watched animals move. And
Yeah.
then some of them make sense to me, and some of them like I can't quite understand, like pigeon pose, camel pose, like I can't quite see how they are,
Right.
how it matches. But yeah, man, mountain pose, tree pose, locust pose. I mean, there's so many, bridge pose. There's so many great things that we can do to strengthen and lengthen the body through.
Yeah. That's almost like some of the things in Taekwondo, or Tai Chi, the
Oh my
name
gosh.
sounds familiar. It's such a peaceful practice, and I know at your new facility, which is where we can transition to, you guys are moving from Heartwood Center to a new facility. Can you let us know the address to that, and what are some of the benefits that you'll be implementing at this new facility? God bless that COVID is gone, so
Yeah.
that we can really open it up. Will you have some of the other aspects of, I know that yoga has hot yoga and steam yoga, like the outdoor yogas circumstances. Are you guys going to be implementing those things in your branding?
That's
Give us some more ideas of that, because it's very interesting.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. So we're moving into 1609 Sherman, the Hahn Building, downtown Evanston,
Hmm.
and we'll be in Suite 308. We're forming Evanston Health Collective. So myself, Melanie Caton, who's an acupuncturist here at
Hmm.
Harvard, and Sarah McLaughlin, who's a massage therapist, we're coming together to form Evanston Health Collective. And the idea is that we love practicing together. So this collaborative approach of, what I can provide in physical therapy and through movement and yoga is helped so much by what my friends and colleagues can provide in terms of pain management strategy with acupuncture and massage. It's just it's like such a wonderful connection, such a
Yeah.
wonderful way of
Yeah,
integrating.
we were teasing yesterday about it being like the Charlie's Angels of health and spirituality with you guys. If we could find a way to market that real well, you guys might end up with a television show or something. You know what I mean? It
That
would be
would
really
be
cool.
hilarious.
It would be great. We need something like that. It doesn't always have to be about violence and,
Yeah.
detective work. It could be about helping people, feel better about their lives and deal with the real stress that they go through. Hey, that's a good idea. I might have to write that down and
I think
turn
you
it into a movie or something.
I think you should, Aaron. I think it's
Yeah.
great. So we're excited. We're going to be in a suite where we each have a treatment space to work with our clients. A little more room than we have here. So I think there's going to be opportunity when we can come back from COVID and be together in groups. I'll be able to have some small groups in my space. It'll be a really beautiful space. I have done some yoga classes outside, so that might be something that will continue, depending on how things, progress and what happens in these future months. We'll just have to see. So
Yeah, I think it'd be an easy transition. I don't know if we want to talk to that. We might have to talk about that off camera, you know what I mean? But because this is really focused on what you're doing now, so that when people have a chance to see this and see you, they can go, you know what, let me experiment with this. Or maybe they had a yoga teacher, a therapist at a different place, and they're like, I want to come here now,
yeah,
so that's what
absolutely.
we're
And I
looking
think
for.
that's something too that I feel like in physical therapy, um, physical therapy is like, seeking a practitioner that really works with you, right? You have to have I feel like when you have a connection with somebody, you're gonna get better faster. And so if you've had physical therapy before, maybe you haven't connected, the one really great thing that I can do, I'm so happy being in my own practice, is that I have one-on-one time with people for an hour. And that's a really nice amount of time to get to know people and how they move, to really listen to people. Cause I think it's not just the body, but it's, I want to hear the story too, and really hear what's going on for people. So, so having that connection, and for people who've tried physical therapy before, maybe it hasn't helped, I would say try somebody different, try somebody new. Even if it's not me, try finding the person that works with you, that you can connect with. Yoga, it's the same way. If you've had a yoga teacher, I've had some yoga teachers that I can't hear that, like the sound of their voice, like I can't,
Yeah.
it's like not soothing to me. So I feel like you got to find the right fit for you. So if you just try once and you say, no, that's not for me, you might be missing out.
I'm
So
pretty sure they would be missing out.
yeah.
I'd say that, and we do want them to come to you. We
Yeah.
want them to come to you and try you out, so that they'll find their home,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
that'd be great. So
That would be great.
yeah, I think, is there anything that you'd like to tell the Evanston area? And now, because of Zoom and because of other things like that, you're pretty much going to be have an opportunity to get national clients, especially if you run the marketing. But do you have like a Facebook group that you conduct, or are you a part of some Facebook or Instagram groups? And will you be implementing those in the future to maintain a culture? Because with you three ladies doing what you're doing, a person could actually really get a full circular world of health. I mean, acupuncture, if they have say they come in with a slip disc or something, right? They
Yep.
can get the acupuncture to deal with some of the pain. They can get the physical therapy to deal with what you bring.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The yoga to maintain it in the future.
Absolutely. Yes. That's something that we are in process of. We've got our evanstonhealth.com is our Evanston Health Collective website, and we will be bringing social media in.
Mm-hmm.
Our first step is kind of like coming together and moving into our new space.
Right.
I myself on my website have links to my Facebook and my Instagram. But hearing you talk about it, Aaron, it's good reinforcement for me to spend some more time and energy.
Okay.
It's not where, I want to be with people. I want to be like helping them and working with them. It's
Right.
not my natural place to go to spend that energy and time with the social media, but it is there. And I think our intention is to do a little more with it. So
Oh,
thanks for
that's
everything.
great. That's great. We look forward to seeing what you guys do with that. Because
Yes.
it's right now it's pretty much running the world. It's the glue that has kept the world running.
Yeah. You're
And
right.
so that's awesome. That's awesome.
And it is like the way, like I feel even over Zoom, the people who come to my classes, like some of them aren't leaving, they're immune compromised, they're not leaving home. This is their way to connect. So you're right.
That's
Like
right.
it's really great that we have it as
Mhm.
a modality to use.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So it's great.
Yeah.
And so as a parting statement or two, what would you say to someone who's kind of on the fence of should I participate in this or not? And then we'll close out because I think that you've presented a great opportunity for people who get to see this.
Mhm.
So what do you say?
Thanks, Erin. Thanks for having me. First of
Oh no,
all,
it's fun. It's great.
it was great to talk to you. I feel like I would definitely encourage, anybody who sees this, reach out if you're looking for physical therapy, if you want to try yoga, if you are looking for an acupuncturist or a massage therapist. We're really excited to be joining forces and would love the opportunity to work with you. So I think coming in for an initial consult, you can get a lot of information, even coming in once to get a feel for how you relate to me, to each of us, to Sarah, Melanie, myself. And it also gives us an opportunity to talk about what your needs are and how we can best address those. So I would encourage everyone just to reach out and to make an appointment. Come on in.
That's great. And again, thank you very much for taking out the time to spend your hard-earned hours with me, even though it's been about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
And so, thank you so much for participating in Evanston Magazine, and we look forward to your article. It's almost written, so we'll
that's
look
great.
forward to that. That's great.